Morning everyone. Today I want to talk to you about the benefits of drinking a gallon of water a day. So it's a Wednesday well-being is the topic today, and we've changed the order of topics on the vlog. So Wednesday is well-being, mindset, those side of things, and things that can only make you feel good and better. And this is quite a big one. So it is a relatively fresh morning. It's about 8 degrees, overcast, a bit wet, damp, not the nicest, but not too bad for running. And this is a topic that I've only really been trying this, drinking a gallon of water a day, probably for the last 6 months. But since beginning more, since before I started the vlog. So yeah, probably maybe 7 or 8 months ago I started doing this, and I don't do it every single day. I try to, but even now, where it should be habitual, and it is to a degree, it's quite a hard challenge. And I'm not sure if for those of you who kind of work in metric, a gallon of water is 3.7 litres. So that's a lot of water you're consuming every day. So I'll start with the challenges around doing it, and then I'll go on to the multitude of benefits that kind of come from it. But I think there's a lot to be said about how water consumption can affect your mood. I think if you're dehydrated, sorry, I'm digressing, talking about the benefits already. So the challenge is drinking 3.7 litres of water a day is a huge amount to drink. So I will drink that as actually water, as actual water, H2O. Not, I do have a couple of cups of coffee a day as well. So if you factor in, a mug of coffee is probably 300 ml. It's probably a pint or half a litre of coffee I'm drinking as well. That's not to mention all of the fluids I retain from eating as well. So 3.7 litres of pure water consumption is a big ask. And it's only when you try it, you realise I've got a massive 2 litre water bottle, and I fill it up to 185 millilitres. Sorry, 1.1 litre, 850 millilitres each time I use it. So it's not fully full, but that equates to the full quota. And it's a lot of water to consume. And the other challenge you have when you're consuming it is you have to almost have a routine for consuming it, pure and simply because if you just had a drink by your side, unless you are a serial drinker, if that's the right term, and you sip really regularly, you just won't get through it. So my kind of routine to consume it is that in the morning, I normally have a cup of tea anyway, but when I get back from my run, I'll try and drink somewhere in the region of a litre of water within the period of time where I'm, toweling myself down, getting showered, getting ready to start the working day. I'll generally try and consume somewhere close to a litre there. Worst case, 500 ml, ideally a litre. It's normally somewhere in between. And that gives you a good kickstart. I then go down and have a coffee, because I find that, not that I get noticeable benefits from drinking caffeine. There's a lot of evidence that suggests stimulus to the mentally stimulating the mind to kind of be more productive, or when I'm doing exercise, like a race or some kind, I'll generally take caffeine before the race for a stimulus. I don't notice it, maybe it affects me subconsciously, but I don't notice an obvious benefit. But I like coffee, so I drink anyway. And then I'll have one coffee, and then between then and lunchtime, because bear in mind I'm not eating here because I normally intermittent fast, so I'll normally then try and consume about another half a litre prior to lunch, because after lunch is when I normally get a bit of a lull. So I'll definitely have another coffee then to try and drive me through it, which is important. But ideally, I want to be at kind of 4 or 5 o'clock time. That time that I want to have consumed the full 2 litres, and then I've only got one more bottle to do in the evening. And I try not to have any teas, anything else throughout the evening, and if I'm sitting on the sofa with the wife or the children watching a movie or whatever I'm doing, I keep it within my arms, my water bottle that I'm just constantly sipping away to get it down so that I finish just before I go to bed. Now, so it sounds, that's quite a routine, but that's the only way I've kind of managed to find a way to consume that volume of water. The other thing to consider is the need for regular toilet breaks. It's a lot of water, a lot of your kidneys working kind of overdrive, so you would expect to go and pass water regularly throughout the day. It's almost like if any of you beer drinkers out there and you're having pints, you can hold it in for so long, but as soon as you go for the first toilet break, you're constantly revisiting kind of every hour or so, maybe a bit longer. But I suppose strength of bladder is a different topic altogether. So you need to factor that in. So it becomes quite challenging, especially if you're out. Now I've worked at this lockdown at the moment, lockdown 2.0. So we're working from home at the moment, so this is my home routine. When I'm out and about, I work in cafes, hotels, and again, I follow the same principle. My first order of drinks will be a litre of sparkling water, because sparkling, I don't mind paying for sparkling water. I feel like I'm getting a bit more value than just still water. So I have 2 litres of a litre of sparkling water and a coffee. And then the next round I'll have another litre, 2 litres, another litre of sparkling water and a coffee. And then, generally speaking, that kind of gets me throughout the day. So I'm kind of home by kind of 4 or 5 o'clock time, and I've already done my 2 litres, so I'm then back in the same routine as I do when I'm at home. But you do need to be mindful if you're going out and buying it, comes at an expense. And again, you also need to go somewhere where there's a toilet within close proximity. So it sounds like a bit of an arduous process. So why do I do this? Well, first and foremost, 2/3 of our body is made up of water. Not fluids, not liquids, water. And I think lots of us kind of forget that major fact. It is the most important, alongside oxygen, substance that you can consume to keep yourself going. And it's hydrating. The benefits it gives you from a well-being standpoint or a mindset. A lot of people have issues with kind of calorie counting and what you want to eat, especially in lockdown. A lot of people are kind of eating their way through lockdown, and it's normally because of boredom or it's just habit. And I'm as guilty as anybody in that. I mean, I lost a stone in 60 days without even trying intermittent fasting, drinking a gallon of water a day, and watching how much I eat. I'm still doing most of that, but I'm not as meticulous with calorie counting as I was, because I've kind of got into a habit. But I have swayed a few times and eaten quite a bit of junk, and although my weight hasn't fluctuated, I'm consciously aware of that. And by drinking a gallon of water, you fill yourself up and you don't feel the need to eat as much. That's a really good reason to try this process. Secondly, mindset. You feel good. When you're hydrated, you feel good, you feel energized. I mean, my kids, I'm constantly banging onto my kids. Like, my eldest sometimes will come home and have like dryish lips. And I'm like, Leo, you're so dehydrated, you need to drink more, mate. You really do. And I kind of make sure he drinks loads. But kids don't think sometimes like that way. And you can tell if they look tired, almost your skin can have issues if you're not drinking enough fluids. There's so many negatives to being dehydrated. So staying hydrated is really, really important. And it will also improve the efficiency of all your organs and how your whole body works. So from a health and well-being perspective, it is so invaluable. So it's something that I'll continue to do forevermore. Now, I do miss it every now and then, and quite often I might get to 3.5 litres rather than 3.7. And rather than neck those extra 200 mils or whatever before I hit the sack, I don't anymore. I used to. But all that means is if you do that, if you're drinking too close to bedtime, you'll be up in the night going for toilet breaks, and that can disrupt your sleep, and that's counterproductive because sleep is super, super important for productivity, energy, and well-being. So don't do it to the disadvantage of affecting your sleep in a negative way. So that's really, really important. So I normally start kind of 10 o'clock-ish. I'll try not to drink anymore, or at least give it kind of an hour before I go to bed. That way I can then I can make sure I'm toileted before I go to bed. Sorry for the crude detail here, but I'm just trying to paint the picture of, everyone says, yeah, drink a gallon of water a day, but few people actually realise how much of a challenge that really is. And to maintain it and consistently do it, the only way you can do that is turn it into a habit. And sometimes with habits you need routine. And similar to this running blog, every morning, 8:30, 9 o'clock, a little bit later at the weekends, I'm out blogging and doing my run. It's just ingrained in me now, so I don't even think about it. In the same regard, first thing in the morning I'm filling that water bottle, or bribing my kids to fill it for me, and cracking on with that routine. But I cannot state the benefits highly enough for doing this. You will see a significant difference in you if you do this. I'd be amazed if you don't. Pure and simply, you just feel better. And even when you kind of wake up in the morning and you're feeling a bit groggy, I exercise with fluids and I feel tip top, ready to go. Exercise is the key part of that. But I have to confess that the fluid consumption is also a big part of that as well. So hope you found this useful. I'm sure there are millions and millions of other benefits that I could probably research and disclose to you. I'm just talking you through the ones that I experienced personally. But obviously there's huge amounts of science that backs up the importance of water consumption to the human body. So I'm sure you can do your own research if you need influencing a little bit more. But anyway, so that's it from today. Hope you found it useful. If you've got any questions on this, and just fire away, ask them to me, I'll respond to everyone. If it's a bigger topic, I'll do a separate vlog episode and tag you in. As always, if this is cluttering up your social feeds, a couple of things about that, just either unfriend and unfollow me, no problem there. I don't want you to get your social feed filled up with content if it's not relevant to you, so absolutely no drama there. But please note my content is changing over the coming weeks, where all of the full-length videos are now going to be on just the YouTube channel, Runpreneur, so please make sure you subscribe to that. But also Facebook, so if you want to get them, they'll be slightly delayed on Facebook, but if you want to watch them on Facebook as well, make sure you stay as a friend or follower. And finally, it's also worthwhile being in the Runpreneur Facebook group, because that's where all of the free resources are going to be hosted, so that everything I talk about over the course of time, I'll be sharing my projects, my templates, resources that hopefully you can find and use in your everyday life to help you on your path as an entrepreneur or a runner. So that's it for me today. But before I go, the Runpreneur vlog was set up to help entrepreneurs and small business owners overcome the emotions of stress, anxiety, and overwhelm, which is so common with probably every entrepreneur out there. And I think I use exercise as a mechanism to control, manage, and thrive under these emotions. And I think that mechanism is so important, whether it's exercise, whether it's something else in your life that allows you to control that. It's so important, because too many entrepreneurs out there that are going through these same issues and emotions just bottle it up. They don't talk, and then as a result, one of two things happens. The entrepreneur breaks down physically or mentally, or the business fails. Either of those two things is terminal to the success of you as an entrepreneur and your business. And that's probably one of the main reasons why 1 in every 10 businesses will last the test of time. It's a damning stat. And I think entrepreneurial overwhelm, stress, anxiety is the main driver for that. So the difference between the successful entrepreneurs out there and the not so successful ones are how they manage and control these emotions, and how they don't get kind of entrepreneurial freeze. They understand the importance of these emotions, they understand the importance of managing them effectively, and they work out a way in which they can control and thrive under the pressures of being an entrepreneur. That's the difference. So my pledge to you is, this is not a sales call by any shape. It's something that I'm offering to help anybody who's experiencing these issues, have no one to talk to. Drop me a direct message. We can jump on a call and I'll just talk you through a tangible plan that you can kind of take away, a roadmap to get yourself back on track. Because my mission is, if I save just one entrepreneur or business, then this vlog has been 1,000,000% worthwhile. So please don't feel you're alone. I think too many of us are too proud to ask for help, and that's the biggie. So that's it for me today. As always, I'll leave you with some positive words, and those are: stay positive, stay happy, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.